Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us.
Good morning and welcome back to Focus Today. Got a couple guests here that you've seen Diane Kostmatka here quite often from the group called Choosing Options, Honoring Options, called COHO, right? Mm-hmm. Give us a brief summary. What does that actually mean?
It's a strange word. Coho sounds like a salmon.
It does.
You know,
but you're not in the fishing industry.
We're not in the fishing industry. And started about 5 years ago. And the premise was we are having difficulties getting people to discuss what their end-of-life options would be when we get there. Because from a hospital standpoint, the end user, if you will, found that a lot of people come in not knowing. And so what is the default? Do everything. Well, if you're 99 and didn't want to be on that ventilator, and a family that feels violated because mom's on the ventilator, and can you stop? Once we start things, it's difficult to back up and stop.
So you help to intervene with patients in that regard then?
Well, we get people, well, the education is to get people to do their organ advanced directive and pulsed, so that when we come into the hospital or when we call 911, we have something to go by, and the EMTs can respond saying, oh, you already have told us. Great, thank you. And we can help. So we help people to understand this.
Do you work in a variety of hospitals or mostly at Providence?
I work primarily Providence in palliative care. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that brings us in, and I want to introduce him to our viewers and listeners real quick. Fred Crewe is a chaplain at the hospice. Is that correct?
Correct.
At Providence Hospital. Now, some people may not have known
that. No, at the hospice. So I'm not in the hospital.
You're not in the hospital, but the name is Providence, right?
It's
Providence Hospice. So, see, even I'm confused with this. I'm glad you're explaining that. So, how long have you been with the hospice itself?
I have been a hospice chaplain, going on 8 or 9 years. I've worked with Providence, for 3.
Okay, so this is not necessarily a division or a wing. Are you on kind of the same campus site as a medical center?
No, actually, our hospice office is up behind Costco.
Okay.
And the hospital is on Crater Lake and McAndrews.
Okay, let me get the relationship then. Do you both work together then?
Sometimes.
Okay.
When the stars align.
I see. But other times, so you may work with some of the hospice individuals, is that right, that Fred would have?
It's complicated.
It is.
As is our whole medical system right now. It's as easy to understand as your medical bill.
Which hopefully we don't have too many of those. But okay, all right. Well, look, I'm happy to take it separately, but also there's a commonality that you both have here.
Right.
And we can, I think, work through all of this because you've got an event coming up that I want to mention right away before. If I leave this to the end, we're never going to get to it.
Correct.
So on February 26th, you have an actress, Megan Cole, who is going to be here. Now, tell me, how does that tie in with both of you?
Okay. To make it easy, Diane and I both work with end-of-life issues for folks. Now, Diane is further upstream than I am. I'm sort of at the end of the line, and Diane is well upstream, hopefully, of that.
In the hospital.
In the hospital.
Okay.
So before they come,
the hospice.
Before they may need hospice, they may not need. After Diane's worked with them for a while, they may not need hospice. But if they do, then we come in to help provide support. But so we both work end of life stuff, and that is our connection for working with COHO, and the play coming or the presentation coming up on Thursday at 2 and at 7 at the Smullen Center. I actually saw this presentation about 10 years ago when I was doing my chaplain training. And it's based on the play Wit, and it's the story, the presentation, it's really, what it's really about is the transformation that can occur at the end of life. It's about a lady who was a PhD, Vivian Baring is the character's name in the play, who was a PhD. Her specialty was the poetry of John Donne, who was an English minister during the Black Plague, and his poetry and writing was really brilliant. But she had studied him as an intellect, as an academician, but when she is diagnosed with ovarian cancer and she's actually dying, she reads Donne in a whole new light because she understands what he was talking about, not just from an intellectual place, but from this existential, I'm dying place. And her doctor in the play, Dr. Posner is treating her as a mechanic would treat a car. And in the play, he comes to realize that there is this beautiful woman that he's caring for, and so he begins to see her as a human being, not as simply body parts that he's trying to fix so that it will live longer. And so the play is about transformation, and that's what a lot of this is about. At the end of life, the miracle of transformation can occur. It can become an incredibly rich and fertile time to reevaluate what our life has been about and what it's meant, and experience that at greater depths than known before.
I would imagine, again, this is coming up this Thursday, is that correct?
Yes. Correct.
At 2 and 7 p.m. This would be very beneficial, I would think, for the family and caregivers of somebody who is either heading into hospice or who's already there. Is that who this is for predominantly, to get an insight into what's going on?
Yes, and all of us are going to be touched with death sometime, because we're all dying, right? But we don't know when. And we don't know when it'll affect our neighbor, our coworker. And when this confronts us, this steel-hot crucible in life, when you're hit with that and dissected by that moment and that experience, people feel so ill-equipped. So they come to us saying, why haven't you talked about this more? Thus, the series every year for the last 5 years. And we try to bring, Coho discusses through the year, what do we want to bring this year? What is important for people to learn so they're better equipped when it hits us? In what way? Which is the unknown.
And this looks like this is the second of a 5-part series of this kind of end-of-life public forum series. Is that right? Well, this is one of the more unique ones. The others don't necessarily have any drama to it at all. But
au contraire.
Do they? Is that right?
Au contraire.
Because I'm looking at here and I'm seeing a lot of doctors, cardiologists.
That's the following week.
Okay.
And go.
But there's more.
Go. Down one more.
Okay, the mom not at Thanksgiving dinner. It's the stuff to talk about around the dinner table or not. Is that the idea? So is this another
It's another play. And Peter Quince, a playwright at Shakespeare, each year has written a play for the past 3 years.
Well,
it's fun. I mean, it's absolutely the theater, the aspect of theater, teaching an individual, experiencing it. People go out of these productions saying, get me these forms, I need to fill these out.
Really?
So it moves people to action, which is what, from the hospital and hospice standpoint, we're thrilled when people finally get it and go, I need to fill this out. Because this is important, because it actually tells people, practitioners, family, what is it that I want at end of life?
And what you're holding here, it says advanced directives, your life, your decisions. This is kind of the, I guess you'd say it's kind of the basic to-do list of what you need to do to make it happen. But this is the emotional connection to actually get to this stage then. Am I right
I
on
want
that?
to add, this is a piece I always add that frustrates everyone. Even if you have these wonderful documents filled out and you don't have the conversation with your loved ones, your loved ones can trump at the critical moment what you have legally put in place. So while these documents are spectacular and should be filled out, unless you've spoken to your family and your loved ones what your wishes are, they can override these documents. So the conversation is most important. Then 1B, so 1A is the conversation, what you would and would not want to have done in your particular, and 1B would be to have the documents.
Well, now that's interesting. Have you used theater to have people come to the point of being able to say, I need an end-of-life directive?
Yes.
Have you done that before?
Yes, this is the third year where we'll have a theatrical play. So
obviously it's
March
been successful then.
It's been wildly successful. That's why
Were you surprised at that, or did you think that kind of makes sense?
Yes and no. I learned through theater. I love theater, and in fact, this particular theatrical play, Wit, for me as a nurse, when I looked at her moment when the doctor was saying, you've got ovarian cancer, and she just goes into another planet. She's like, not talking about me. No, that's not me. She goes into another world, which I experience in the hospital when the doctor comes in to say, I've got really bad news. We've gotten the tests back. And I know that patient and family goes into another planet. So they've been told something. What did they hear? So as a
Yes,
nurse,
yes,
I go in
good.
and say, what do you understand about what the doctors have said? That's my first question as a palliative care practitioner.
Hey, I appreciate you both being here. I realize this was really quick, but let me give the information. It'll be at the Smullen Center this Thursday. Is there a fee?
No, there's no fee. We can ask for a $10 donation if people feel they would like to donate to what we do in Coho for this.
And that'll be Thursday, 2 p.m. or 7 p.m. Is there a place they can go for more information on
Yes,
this?
they can call Coho, and the number is on the bottom of that.
Or you can go to cohoroguevalley.org. That may be the easiest. Try that, cohoroguevalley.org. If you need that, go ahead and call the station. Diane Kostmatka and Chaplain Fred Crewe, thanks for being here. Realize this was fast. I think we covered it, though, and we'll see you at 2.
Thanks.
Thanks.